Welcome back to Upfront. We're less than a month out now from the spring election, which will have state and local nonpartisan races on the ballot. In the city of Milwaukee, Mayor Tom Barrett is running for re-election and faces a challenge from State Senator Lena Taylor. We're talking with the candidates in that race this week and next. Today, we have Senator Taylor joining us now. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
So I saw you sent out a statement about how Mayor Barrett is handling the coronavirus. You're not happy about it. Why?
Well, we knew that we had the first case in Wisconsin back in February. More than a month later is when we first hear from the leader in Milwaukee. And we need a task force, an entire task force that will bring a coordinated service together. I mean, really, the siloed effect is a problem that exists not just in how we're dealing with this issue, but many issues that the administration deals with.
Now, the mayor has come out with health officials and saying that they are having these closed-door meetings. For your understanding, you think this isn't enough?
Well, at first, we did not even have first responders or those individuals that were also present. I think the issue of what will happen with the schools and very candidly, all of our universities, what will happen with the DNC, all of those issues are important. And very candidly, what will happen with the election even is an issue that we have to talk about. And so I think coordinated supports and a task force where everyone is brought together is something that should happen. And it looks like it's been more piecemeal and people are siloed. MPS is over here, he's over there. First he just had the health commissioner with him. Then after some of the things that many of us had said, he brought in the individuals that are the first responders. What's the plan if our first responders go down and they are get infected? So people need to know also where can they go and what should they do when our hospitals are already saturated and we have a problem now with people going to emergency rooms and being turned around. We even had individuals die in our emergency rooms. So we really do need a plan, and it has to be executed and communicated effectively to the people.
And how do you get out of something in front of it, something like coronavirus, which is really complex? We haven't dealt with this recently. Yes. And it's happening all over the country. What would you do specifically to get out in front of this, especially when there was so much unknown?
Well, I think the first is to do a task force and invite everyone in for a meeting, and to be able to do that and continue in that process and not wait a month.
And you know that he hasn't had all those people
not
for
wait
a
month. Did you hear anything from the mayor before March?
In terms of what hasn't been public?
Before March? February is when we first knew. And so I believe that we needed immediate response so that people knew exactly what to do. And to this point, individuals still are not very clear on what their steps should be. Should they stay home and isolate themselves? Don't go to the emergency rooms. We're getting very mixed communications from individuals on what to do. So what I'm saying is immediate responses to crisis issues is something that this mayor has lacked consistently, whether it's the virus or whether it is the issue that happened with the lead laterals, or whether it is the issue of what we should do to change the millions of dollars that we're spending on settlements with the police department. So what I'm saying to you is that I would not do siloed eking out a little bit here and there, but to bring individuals together and show that coordinated effort.
You mentioned the election, and that is a real question of what to do. That's coming up on April 7th.
It is.
What do you want to see happen? How do we get people to vote but still protect people's safety?
I think one of the things we could do is absentee ballots, and we could potentially send out absentee ballots to everyone. I think it would cost us about maybe $3 million or less to be able to do that across, everyone being able to. We may even have a greater turnout that way, but I think it would allow us to take public health into consideration for the workers as well as for residents.
Are you concerned?
Of course. I mean, I'm concerned about that. I'm concerned about what will happen with the DNC. I mean, this is a serious issue, and people should take it seriously. They should wash their hands. They should do the elbow. Very candidly, I'm a person that hugs, and so you have to recondition yourself to do things differently. And so we all need to be thinking about that. So this is a serious health issue, and we have a health department that presently right now is under criminal investigation. So I would love for the mayor to deal with those issues also.
And what's the criminal investigation?
The criminal investigation from the lead the handling of the lead lateral issues, and very candidly, even funds that came in to the city. And at this juncture, it really is about having leaders in place that will be transparent and inclusive, and the mismanagement that's happened under the present administration has to change.
I want to ask you about some of your campaign issues, because ready or not, April 7th is around the corner, like we've been saying. So you've really said that the mayor's left a lot of neighborhoods behind. That's been something you've focused on, and what do you mean by that?
Well, think about it, whether it's Red Cross or whether it is the 14 neighborhoods that the police chief has spoke about, you can see that there is a concentrated amount of poverty, violence, lack that has existed in neighborhoods. And the mayor has chosen downtown over the people and over neighborhoods for some time. And you cannot have a strong city if your neighborhoods don't have that public safety, don't have that entrepreneurship, that empowerment mechanism that's needed. And so what I'd like to see is that we have a better balance, a better sense of equity, so that we have a city that works for everyone, not just for some.
But do you think you can have a good city as a whole if you don't have a strong downtown, a strong business district, a strong entertainment district?
Oh my goodness, that's important, of course, but it's not one or the other. And very candidly, if you don't work on your neighborhoods and you don't have your people strong, it's going to seep into your downtown and make it where you don't have a strong downtown. And so right now, our issue is potholes. People's snow was not plowed well. In addition to that, public safety, reckless driving, and crime. Domestic violence is a huge problem in the city. And I really would like to see us have a sensitive crimes unit that doesn't just deal with sexual assaults, but also concentrates on domestic violence in a different kind of way, and that we have some kind of system that would go out and maybe do checks on individuals even. But in the end, we have to concentrate on our neighborhoods. We are our people, and that is the difference. We have a lot of negative statistics. You can't change them if you don't address them.
Okay. Senator, thank you. And Milwaukee Mayor Tom Barrett, he'll join us next Sunday right here on Upfront. Next, the candidates for Milwaukee County Executive clash over an allegation of plagiarism.